Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of my Twisted Bow from Scratch series, where I'm going to be flipping from 1 GP to a twisted bow in under 1 year. So I've given myself a 1-year restriction. If I haven't completed it after that time frame, I am going to be forfeiting all of the money that I have earned thus far. So it could be 100 mil, it could be a billion GP potentially, but I'm going to be giving it all away. And on top of that, if the stakes were already high enough, I'm going to be going down to my local Asian market and finding the spiciest pepper that is there, and I'll be eating it as they give away all of the money on live stream. So thanks everyone for all the support you've been showing on episode number 1. I really appreciate it. For the first month, I will release an episode every week, and after that I'll be releasing them bi-weekly. The last episode got more than 2,000 likes already, so if you are excited for this series, I would appreciate it if you left a like on this video as well. Let's see if we can get 2,000 likes on episode 2 as well. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoy, and let's get started. Alright guys, so last episode we ended up with around 3 million GP, which was pretty good, although it did take me 2 weeks to earn that amount from scratch. Our game plan for the start of episode number 2 is to continue on with the kind of high margin, low volume items, as I think they are still going to be more efficient at this point in time. Once we get into the 15 to 20 mil range, we could start moving on to some high volume items. So we started off by putting in an offer for goat tubers, which have worked pretty well for us in the past, as well as the Guthix chaps, which have about a 30k margin on them, and is only a 200k item, so it's quite good. We're also going to be doing the Ceradoman robe top, and a pretty good ROI on this one. Godbook pages generally have pretty good margins on them. However, their buy limit is so low that it's kind of gated by that. We can only do 5 of them maximum, although we don't have enough money anyway. Anyway guys, that's it. We'll find another item to buy for around 100k, and we'll come back with hopefully some successful flips. Okay, so everything went pretty nicely here, except for unfortunately for getting a few zeros on the Ceradoman robe top. So we actually lost a bit of money on that, but not too bad. We ended up getting 35k in profit on each of the Guthix chaps, which means we have made 140k off of 4 of them. So that is a really good return for our investment on that one. The goat tubers are still giving us a 30k margin. Not as good anymore, but still a very quick item to flip. The ancient pages we didn't actually make any money on. And a really interesting item, the red d'hide shield, actually had about a 4k margin on it. And considering the limit on this is really high, 125, it's actually a really awesome item. So we're going to go ahead and put an offer in for, well, more Guthix chaps, more goat tubers. We're not going to be changing up too many of the items right now, as they're working quite nicely for us. Completing this flip only took around 3 hours, so you can see how quickly it's actually going. Okay, so it's technically the next day. It's pretty much midnight, 12:03 a.m. of the 30th day of May, and we have flipped the Guthix chaps about 15 times pretty much, getting a 35k margin each time, which means over the course of today we have made about 500k off of flipping just the Guthix chaps. A really good item, and I think I pretty much flipped it until the margin disappeared. The other item that has been really successful is the Armatil d'hide shield. We flipped from 1500 to 1583, I think 3 times, which means we made about 250k on that flip as well. We did a few other flips with the Mystic Robe Bottom Dusk and the red d'hide shield, but they weren't that profitable. However, after today we're up to 4.2 mil. We're already at 1.2 mil over where we started, which is really good. And I think we're going to continue on with the Guthix chaps. I think the margin still might be around 25k. We're going to do another Armatil d'hide shield. Right now we are still looking for items with the highest ROI, which is why I have it sorted by the ROI column on GE Tracker. We're pretty much just going from the top, looking at the more reasonable items that probably don't have a big price fluctuation or anything like that, and seeing if that margin actually looks like it is consistent and a safe buy. The next item we're going to try here is the Mystic Mud Staff, around 125k for this item, but it has around a 15k margin on it. We're going to buy them for 121k, and we'll go ahead and do 8 of them. And with the last bit of our money, I think we're going to do a goat tuber flip or something like that, and hopefully it will be successful. Okay, so it's 8 a.m., technically the same day. We did sell everything off, but we didn't make a lot of money on the Rim's hood, like 12k in profit there or something like that. Another 80k in profit off of the Armatil d'hide shield, and we did get about a 13k margin on the Mystic Mud Staff, which means we made about 75k on that one. Overall bringing us up to 4.5 mil, not a lot in profit there. I think we'll probably try to move on to mostly some new items, although we'll probably put in another one of these Armatil shields, which we just instantly bought. And that probably was a mistake. Now, whenever you can find a Barrows item with a really good margin, especially some of the cheaper ones, you know it's probably a good idea to give it a try as Barrows items come through very consistently, as a lot of people do Barrows, and the items are gotten at random, so even the lesser used ones will still be sold a lot as people will get them accidentally. We're going to try once again for the Ancient Page 1. It has a 30k margin on it, which is very good, and the buying limit really isn't a problem currently, as we're pretty poor and we can't afford much more than 5 anyway. And another new item I'm going to try is the Tome of Fire. We're going to buy it for around 607k, and oh my god, we instantly bought this one as well. Okay, well let's try selling this off and hopefully we don't lose any money here. So the items from our last flip, we didn't really make any money on it, but we didn't really lose any either, so we're just moving on. Next up here we have actually some flips on the Mystic robe set, some Mystic boots, dark, red d'hide shield, and some Ranger gloves, so a bunch of new items. And a really interesting one on the ham gloves. We actually got them for around 1200 and we're able to sell some of them for about 5k each. And the rest we're dumping for the original price. But we got about a 50k profit on Ranger gloves, about a 70k profit on the Mystic boots, 50k on the Mystic robe set, and about 40k on the red d'hide shields, bringing us pretty close to 5 mil. Okay, so next up here we're going to be doing the Book of Darkness page set. Has about a 50k margin on it. Not a very quick item, but I think it's probably worth it. We're also going to be doing the Dragon Harpoon. Man, this item crashed in price so much. It used to be worth like 6 or 7 mil, but then they changed the drop table and now it's worth about 600k. And last here, we're going to try a Spirit Shield, and we're going to buy it for around 201k, and we'll go for 4 of them. Now, there's a really lucrative flipping technique out there, and that is called item set creation, or something along those lines. Essentially, what you do is you buy all of the items of a certain item set, combine it into the set, and sell that item off, so you're quickly transforming it from, for example, a bunch of different pages into the Book of Law. So you'd buy the page 1, 2, 3, and 4, for let's say 900k in total. You would turn it into the Book of Law and sell that off for 1 mil, giving you a 100k profit. This also works with Barrows items, trimmed armor, Mystic sets, stuff like that. It's a really powerful technique, and I'm going to start doing it pretty much right now. So while we do have a few other items in there still, we have the Dragon Harpoon and the Blessed Shield. The main focus over the next couple of days is going to be to try to flip the Armadillo page 1, 2, 3, and 4, combine it into the Book of Law page set, and make a nice profit from it. I think currently we're going to get around 100k in profit per combination, so we're going to try for 4 of them. Alright, that is what I'd like to see. We sold off all of the Book of Law page sets for 990k, which means if we take into account how much the individual pages were, we got 132k in profit per page combination, which means in total from that one flip we earned 660k in profit, which is over like a 10% ROI of our entire cash stack just in one flip. So you can really see how powerful this technique is. The main drawback here is we hit the bind limit on the Armadillo pages pretty much right away because it only has a limit of 5. That being said, I did actually notice that the Book of Law page set, not the individual pages, actually has a 90k margin on it. So we're going to go ahead and try buying them for around 900k-ish, and we'll go ahead and buy another 3 or 4 of those as well. And I suppose I'll put another item in as well. We'll go for the Mystic Light robe set, and that's pretty much it. We are really just trying a bunch of different items here to kind of see what sticks and what works. So we actually did end up flipping 3 of the Book of Law page sets, and we got an 80k margin on each one, which means we got 240k in profit off of the page sets, without even combining them, so that's really nice. We tried a bunch of different items like the bottomless compost bucket, granite ring, stuff like that. The only thing here that actually was semi-profitable was the granite ring, which we got about 60k in profit off of. That being said, these Lasar teleports are really promising. We haven't really bought any yet, and it's not a very highly traded item, but the margin on this thing is huge considering what type of item it is. Okay, so here's the graph for the Lasar teleport. Look at that, we could buy it for 2.8k and potentially sell it for 8k, which is a absolutely massive margin. And this has kind of got me excited on these Arceus teleports or the Wilderness teleport tablets, because not a lot of people use them, but occasionally someone actually wants a lot. And if we actually got a 5k margin on each one of these, that would be ridiculous. But we're going to go ahead and look at some of the other teleports, like the Garok teleport, the Karalanger teleport. Like, there's some really random ones that I don't think people probably use that much, but the margins could be really huge on them, and I think it's still possible we could successfully flip them, as there are some traded, just not a lot. We're going to go ahead and do a few more of the Book of Law page sets, as the margin is still about 75k on them, which is really good. And we'll chuck in another bottomless compost bucket now that it's under 1 mil. This item has been crashing pretty consistently as well. So I'm really excited for this Lasar teleport flip, and hopefully we will actually be able to flip a meaningful amount. Alright, not bad. We sold 100 of the Lasar teleports for 7,400. And we did bump it up to about 4,100 we bought them for, but that's still 330k in profit we got off of a random teleport. It took quite a while to come through, but that was only for 100 of them. The buying limit on this is like 10,000. However, the amount of people buying Lasar teleports isn't very much, or selling them for that matter. We also did a book combination flip for about a 75k margin, bringing us up to about 6.5 mil, which means we're over a double where we started at the beginning of the episode. And I think we're definitely going to do more of these Lasar teleports. We're going to try for around 400 for 1.6 mil, and we're going to buy them for the same price at around 4,100 GP. And we'll throw in some other items as well, and hopefully we'll be as successful as last time. So I was kind of inspired by all of these different teleports, so I went through GE Tracker and found some of the more profitable ones. Unfortunately, only really the Lasar teleport panned out to be that profitable. However, that alone made us about 400k in profit. We bought them for around 4,100, and we sold the majority of them back for 4,900, and some of them for 5,900. Which means that we got a profit of 900 GP on some of them and 1,900 on others, which brought us to around 400k in profit off a single item. We also tried the Karalanger teleport and the cemetery teleport. We didn't make as much on that. We only got about 30k on the cemetery teleports and 20k on the Karalangers. However, our other flips worked really nicely as well. We did the plate skirt ornament kit for about a 90k profit in total, and the monkey tail for 70k profit off of a single item. So quite nice, and bringing us up to 6 mil. So I'm really excited on these teleports, and all I've really done is gone into GE Tracker, typed in the word teleport, and then now I'm sorting with the highest margin first. And I'm learning about some interesting teleport tablets I never even knew existed. So on GE Tracker, it's showing the Watchtower teleport with actually about a 200 or 300 GP margin, which is really good, and this item trades really frequently. So we're going to go for 2,000 of them because I'm really just hoping that someone dumps it in for this price and we can get that 200 GP margin. We're going to do Anna Carl teleports, which actually have about a 300 GP margin on them. And these actually do trade fairly frequently, so it should be a pretty quick flip. Once again, we're going to do the Lasar teleports because they were so profitable. We're going to try buying them for around 3k each because that is the margin currently, and we're going to go for 200 of them. But the rest of our money we're going to put in for a Zeradomin D'hide shield and maybe a few other items with a good return on our investment. And we can see some of the Watchtower teleports are already coming through. So the teleport items continue to be extremely good. We got about a 300 GP margin on the Anna Carl teleport, and we flipped 600 of them for about a 170k profit. Also a really good flip on the Musketeer hat, kind of random, but we got 45k in profit on each one. That's 180k in profit off that one. So actually better. That's so weird. Bringing us up to, let's see here, over 7 mil. We're up to 7.5 mil. We're making money really quickly here. I'm very happy about it. So we're going to go ahead and go through a bunch of the teleport items again and just kind of find the highest margin ones. And we're going to split our money between 4 or 5 different teleports. So we went ahead and put in for the Kirill teleport, the Anna Carl teleport, the cemetery teleport, the Lasar teleport. Like, we just did all of the best ones. We had Piscatoris, Felda Pills, really just the top margins that were available, and they're all about 200 or 300 GP or more. Well, perhaps I shouldn't have done all teleports as, well, these didn't actually work that well. That's a little disappointing. We got okay margins on them, but we just didn't buy enough of them. It wasn't because there wasn't enough volume, it was because I was definitely fighting with other people for these items. I realized after like 20 minutes, every time my offer would be undercut by 1 or 2 GP. So clearly I wasn't the only one with this idea. Like, it wasn't terrible. We still got about a 35k profit on the Piscatoris teleports, 20k on the Anna Carl, 25k in the Felda Pills, but nothing really that good. So we're going to maybe stray away from the teleports and we maybe put in just for 1 or 2 of the highest margin ones. We're going to put in for some more Clue Scroll rare items. We're going to do the Leather Chaps G, the Zeradomin Robe top. The Ring of Stone always has a really good margin on it, but I just never buy any for some reason. But we'll go ahead and try it again we'll do 2 of them actually. We are going to do the Lasar teleport because it is consistently the one with the highest margin, but we're not going to invest like a ton of money into it. We're going to do maybe like 400, and with the rest of our money we'll find some nice high return on investment items to put in the last 4 slots. Alright, it is June 2nd now, and I'm really excited because we made a ton of money on a lot of these flips. The Lasar teleports, we got a almost 2k margin on each one, which is extremely good. Unfortunately, we only got 200 of them, but that's still a 400k profit. Really good. The leather chaps as well, we got 25k on each one, and we flipped 7 of them, which means we got 175k there. The party hats and specs, we got 90k margin on. The Ceradome and robe tops, we got 75k in total off of. Like, we just did really well on all of these items. Even on the royal gown top, we got a 30k margin, which means we got 120 on this one. That brings us up to 9 mil in total. We are extremely close to a green cash stack for the very first time after only about 2.5 weeks. So I'm pretty happy with our progress so far. All right, well, let's keep going. We got to get that green cash stack. So next up here, we're going to do the Mystic Mist staff. Look at that, the Feldip Hill teleport actually has a 400 GP margin on it. This item should trade frequently enough, but I just hope the margin stays the same because we are poised to make a lot of money on this one. But unfortunately, a lot of other people are trying this item, and so it's not working as well as it should. So we ended up putting offers in for 3 separate teleport items, Fury, and a few other clue scroll rewards. I'm pretty confident we should make some money on some of these. We have another really promising looking flip on the Book of Law item set combination. We're buying the individual pages for about a 101k margin over the completed set. So we're going to do 5 of those for about a 500k profit, looking pretty nice. The Torag's armor set actually has a 65k profit on it. We've been consistently flipping that one back and forth quite a bit. And the Carol Langer teleports we made about 75k on. We're just going to go ahead and pretty much instantly buy the rest of the Armory page 4s. I will do this sometimes as we'd rather just kind of get the full combination done and save on Grand Exchange offer slots and stuff like that. And we're going to lose a little bit of money over what we normally would have gotten from the flip, but not much. I think it's better to do it quicker than wait for the optimal margin. So we'll go ahead and sell these 4 off for another 100k margin on each one. Now, as I was mentioning earlier, you can actually do these item set combination flips with Barrow's armor as well. You will need to buy 4 individual pieces of items, and they are generally more expensive, but their buying limit is 15 as opposed to 5 of the God pages, so it has a pretty big benefit there. On each one of these, we made about a 60k margin, and on the first one, I think we got 100k. And in total, we did 5 of these, so we made about 350k in total off of about 5 Kirill armor set combinations, which is pretty decent, and that actually brings us up to 10 million GP in total, which is a really exciting milestone. The very first green cash stack on the account on episode number 2. I don't think that's too bad in my opinion. We will only need around, well, 100 times more money, but I am pretty much right where I wanted to be as far as the timeline, how much money I have and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and do some more actual item set combination flips. This is definitely one of the most profitable flipping techniques, especially when you don't have a ton of money to work with. So we're going to be putting in for 10 of the Armadale pages. So we're attempting to create 10 books of law, which will hopefully be getting at least a 50k margin on them. But currently it looks like it'll be about 80k, which is very good in my opinion. So we ended up combining 10 Book of Law page sets for a profit of around 90k on each one. So we got 900k in profit off of that flip, which is by far the highest profit we've had on any item yet. So I'm really excited about that one. We tried to do 10 overnight, but we didn't end up getting an even amount of the pages, so we just sold some of them back. We actually got a 100k margin on each Ring of Stone as well, which means we got 200k in the Ring of Stone and a little bit of money on some of the other items, bringing us up to 12 mil. Oh my god, we're going up so quickly. We're at 12 mil and 30k, pretty much exactly on the nose at 12 mil. So I think we're going to upload this episode on Wednesday, which means, well, we have 2 more days of flipping here, so let's try to make the best of it. So we put in for some cheaper clue scroll items, but we're also going to be doing the Unholy Book page set combination. We're going to be doing 5 at a time currently, as that is the buying limit, and I kind of want to save a bit of money for some other items. But considering how much money I made on the last item set combination, I'm probably just going to be spamming this out as much as possible. Okay, we're just quickly sneaking onto my phone to check a few offers here. We won't be able to update them. We'll do that slowly over the day. when no one's looking. On the Unholy Book set combination, we got about a 60k margin on each one, giving us about 300k in total, so it's quite good. The other major profitable flip here was the Granite Gloves, which we got 140k in profit in total off of, and actually the Dragon Scimitar Ornament Kit was also about a 125k flip. This clip is the same day, it's June 3rd, it's a bit later in the day, but we did also flip another 5 of the Unholy Book page sets for a pretty similar margin of about a 300k profit. Well, apparently we get a ton of clips this week because this is gonna finally be the last one. We had 2 major flips this time. We did 10 of the Unholy Book page sets for a 50k margin on each one, which means we got 500k in total there. And another massive one is the Lasar teleports. We actually ended up flipping about 700 of them, and we got all of them for 3,100 and sold them for around 4,000 each. We sold some of them for 4,000 and some of them for 3,900. But in total, we got 600k in profit off that one, which is a ton of money considering it's just a random teleport. Now that flip did take quite a while to complete, almost a full day and a half. It is about 8 p.m. June 4th. And let's go ahead and claim all of our money here and see where we're at. So in total, we're at about 14 mil. We'll go ahead and examine the gold stack here just to get the exact amount. So we started the episode at 3 mil and we are now up to 14.5 mil, which is a huge gain on this episode, I would say. So I'm hoping by the end of the month, we can be at around 25 mil-ish, and hopefully by month 2 around maybe 100 mil. I think for the next episode, I'm going to come up with a bit of a roadmap with certain milestones on it. Anyway, guys, that is it for the video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you left the video a like, or let me know with a comment down below. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.